She got the brakes beaten off of her. She had 9 turnovers and was just an awful. If you watch the game, she was awful. We need to quit celebrating these little distinctions.
What if I told you that Angel Reese's double-doubles might not be as impressive as you think? The narrative you've been fed about Angel Reese's double-doubles is falling apart, and the truth is shocking. With her team losing by double digits despite her stats, is it time to question whether these numbers really mean anything?
I am so tired of hearing about Angel Reese and her double-doubles.
Double-doubles are one of those stats that scream dominance in basketball. Scoring 10 or more points and grabbing 10 or more rebounds in a single game isn't supposed to happen by accident. When fans hear double-double, they picture a star player carrying their team, dominating the paint, and doing whatever it takes to win. It's a stat that looks clean on paper, right next to a player's name, and instantly draws attention.
And so Angel Reese is the double-double queen. They got the brakes beat off of them last night by the Minnesota Lynx. Angel Reese's double-double, I think 11 points, 11 rebounds, was meaningless and insignificant.
Angel Reese has built quite the reputation off her ability to consistently hit those numbers, leading some to call her one of the best in the game. But here's the issue. Double-doubles don't always tell the whole story. And with Reese, that gap between what her stats say and what's actually happening is starting to get uncomfortable.
She now has 2 double-double streaks of more than 10 games or 10 games plus. She had one last year, now she has one this year. She's the first WNBA player to ever do this.
Take her recent game against the Minnesota Lynx as a perfect example. On paper, it seems fine. 11 points, 11 rebounds, another double-double secured. But if you were watching the game, you know, the outcome wasn't exactly in her favor. Her team lost by over 20 points. Those numbers meaningless when you compare them to the scoreboard.
And there's major fallout from last night. Angel Reese had another double-double, and last night was as fraudulent as the rest of them. They are literally celebrating a double-double, lost by 20, and it was a god-awful game from Angel Reese last night.
Analysts didn't hold back either. One comment put it plainly: we need to quit celebrating these little distinctions. That game wasn't some isolated fluke either. There's a pattern here. It's like her double-doubles are giving her a safety net for praise, even when her impact on the bigger picture falls flat. You can drop 10 rebounds all day, but if those boards aren't helping your team stay competitive, are they worth celebrating?
Many of you are stat watchers, you're not game watchers. That we've reduced sports to just watching box scores and tweeting out our thoughts about box scores.
Here's the thing. Basketball fans and media love to hype up individual stats. It's addicting, really. Look at any headline about Reese, and you'll see her double-doubles front and center as if they're the ultimate badge of success. This is what people call box score watching. It's that habit of focusing on flashy stats while ignoring what actually happened in the game. The turnovers, the missed rotations, the lack of hustle in key moments.
Let's quit pretending like this is some sort of history we're seeing from Angel Reese with these double-doubles. It's not. It's a nice little stat that's pretty irrelevant, doesn't lead to victories.
Double-doubles, while fun to track, can be kind of like a highlight reel that hides the rough edits. Reese showed up in the box score against the Lynx for sure, but the game itself showed a player putting in numbers that didn't matter on the court. Double-doubles feel less like proof of dominance and more like a convenient distraction from the issues we're going to dig into. And this is where critics have been circling.
I mean, it's no longer like a thing. Seriously, she has corrupted the points and rebounds double-double to the point it's nuts.
Some are even calling Reese's numbers smokescreens for deeper flaws in her game. Her double-doubles are flashy, sure, but when you zoom in on her impact during high-stakes moments, the cracks appear. Teammates can't rely on rebound stats to make up for poor decision-making or defensive lapses. And maybe that's the real issue here.
Nobody's dumb. We can tell we're being gaslit by the WNBA, the media. It's horseshit. It's crazy. the fraudulent double-double streak.
By focusing on these double-doubles, fans are distracted from what her performances might really be saying about her as a player. And it's not all positive. But if you think it stops with her on-court struggles, you're wrong. There's a much bigger story unfolding. And trust me, it's not about basketball.
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion.
What if Angel Reese's double-doubles are just covering up major flaws in her game? That's the question her critics are asking. And honestly, they aren't pulling any punches. It's not just about the numbers. For them, the issue is what those numbers are hiding. Missed layups, turnovers, bad defensive reads, you name it. Her stats might say elite, but her game tells a different story.
They lost by 20-some-odd points last night to the Minnesota Lynx. The Lynx pretty much controlled that entire game. Angel Reese was no factor. We need to quit celebrating. Oh, she got a double-double. Well, yeah, they kept her in the fourth quarter when they were down by 20, and she, got a bucket or two and got to double-digit points.
Let's talk about some of the moments that have people questioning whether she's really as good as that double-double streak suggests. In the game against the Lynx, Ree managed to rack up 9 turnovers.
9.
That's the kind of stat that'll have any coach pulling their hair out. Even with her usual double-double of 11 points and 11 rebounds, her constant mistakes became a running theme that the team just couldn't overcome. It was ugly.
Angel Reese was back to doing Angel Reese things. Blowing layups, getting her own rebounds. They've turned her into a point forward. She had 9 turnovers last night. I think her plus minus was minus 19.
Every time the team tried to build momentum, there came another poor decision from Ree, losing the ball, forcing bad passes, and it killed any chance they had to stay competitive. What's wild is that those double-doubles still dominate the conversation, even when it's clear her mistakes had a much bigger role in the loss.
She has no skills. She has energy, she has an attitude, she'll rebound you the basketball. Great. Nothing else.
One analyst even said, flat out, these double-doubles are meaningless if they don't come with good team play. And looking at how that game unfolded, it's hard to argue they were wrong. Here's another thing no one seems to talk about. Reese's missed layups. This isn't some once-in-a problem. It's consistent enough to raise eyebrows. Critics have pointed out that her frequency of missed close-range shots is a huge red flag for someone who lives in the paint.
As a rebounder, I get it, she's a great rebounder. As she has improved, she shot 4 of 8 from the field last night. And look, we focus in on Angel Reese's missed layups, but if you watch the WNBA, everybody misses layup.
If these missed opportunities aren't just frustrating, they're momentum killers. Each time a layup doesn't land, it's not just points off the board. It's also a chance for the other team to grab the rebound and charge down the court. And let's not forget, she's supposed to be one of the most physical and dominant rebounders in the game.
Let's hopefully end this whole fake double-double deal where they're feeding her the ball at the end of the games and she's getting garbage buckets. Let's leave all that alone. Just be a rebounding machine.
Missing these seemingly easy shots forces fans to reconsider how much of her game is reliant on volume rather than efficiency. Then there's the brutal take from a commentator who didn't hesitate to call Reese the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball. Now that's harsh, no doubt, but comments like this come from somewhere.
Now she knows it to the point that even when she's on the basketball court, she's aware like, this ain't really my thing. Let me get this hot potato out of my hand and to somebody that knows what they're doing with it as soon as possible.
In one specific instance, Ree made a steal during a 3-on-3 game. Instead of taking an open layup on the fast break, she passed it off, allowing her teammate to finish the play. It seems like a tiny moment, but the criticism here is about what it represents. Critics say it shows a lack of confidence in her scoring and decision and not wanting to take the risk herself, but rather shifting responsibility to someone else.
Down court with the basketball, 3-4 steps ahead of everybody, has an easy layup
and throws it to the girl behind her.
These moments paint a picture of a player who's leaning on her flashy stats to mask deeper issues. From shaky finishing abilities to costly turnovers, Reese's game is clearly polarizing, and her numbers aren't doing much to silence the doubters. But if you think the problems stop there, think again. It turns out her struggles might not even start on the court.
Again, the double standard, no standard. No standard for certain people, double standards for others. Again, the standards you set, that's what you really think of those people.
Is Angel Reese putting more energy into her brand than into basketball? That's the question swirling around her right now. And it's got people talking. Reese has been busy lately, but not just on the court. From high-profile photos to promoting products on social media, her off-court ventures are constantly in the spotlight. And while endorsements and marketing deals are nothing new for athletes, critics are starting to wonder if they've become her main focus.
But she's got self-awareness. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player. That's why she spends so much time half naked and taking pictures and promoting things that have nothing to do with basketball.
The timing couldn't be worse. With her game already under scrutiny, distractions like these are only adding fuel to the fire. Take, for instance, her recent promotional appearance for a sportswear brand. It was flashy, complete with photo ops and Instagram highlights, but it raised some eyebrows.
I'm saying this in all seriousness. Angel Reese has self-awareness, and that will be a good thing. If she just wants to be the Dennis Rodman of the WNBA, she can have at it. She can go at it.
One commentator pointed out that this is where her time is going, suggesting that what Reese needs most right now isn't pictures and products. It's time in the gym. The argument is hard to overlook when you consider how her on-court performance hasn't exactly been lighting up scoreboards or shutting down critics. There's a growing sense that Rhea is prioritizing her public image over the grind it takes to sharpen her skills.
Once again, this whole culture of the players, the media, the people that defend it, the players surrounding it, the players that are the coaches, they are the most unlikable culture in all of sports.
What really gets critics going is how these off-court moves are starting to mirror her on-court energy, or lack of it. Some say she's too quick to defer responsibility with the ball, passing it off instead of stepping up. Then add in the off-court narrative, and it starts sounding like a bigger issue than just basketball.
They want to point the finger at everybody over why nobody cares about us or likes us. That's why they just keep giving us more evidence over and over again.
One source didn't hold back, questioning whether Reese's focus on outside ventures reflects a self-awareness of her basketball limitations. That's a brutal take, but honestly, it lines up with her play style lately. The suggestion is that Reese sees branding opportunities as a safer bet than fixing her game. And let's face it, you can't win games with Instagram posts.
Clearly, it's something that a lot of people can't take. So if it's something that you can't take, maybe you shouldn't expose yourself to the backlash and provoking the backlash.
Of course, this isn't just about Angel Reese. The criticism she's facing reflects a larger stigma tied to women's basketball, one that constantly pits athleticism against marketability. Some critics argue that moments like these give ammo to stereotypes that women's sports are more about image than performance. It's not fair, but this balance between raising your profile as an athlete and staying locked in on the court has always been trickier for women athletes.
Whereas with Angel Reese, sometimes you find yourself scratching out your head and wondering what the hell she's doing. Like that photo right there. Listen, I see the way you walk in the game. Just listen. She's a beautiful young lady. And there's a lot of beautiful young ladies in the WNBA. But when you do that, you can't come down the line and complain about being objectified later on. It's not going to work with people. Whether it's right or wrong, it's not going to work.
In Reese's case, those moments where she's smiling for cameras and missing defensive rotations on the same week are leaving people wondering which Angel Reese is showing up. Still, the harshest critiques circle back to one thing: commitment. The truth is, Reese could be dedicating the time she spends on marketing to fixing those weaker parts of her game. Turnovers, poor decision scoring efficiency.
The Chicago Sky, they look perhaps worse than they were a year ago because people don't want to play with Angel Reese.
As long as Ree keeps placing herself in the spotlight off the court, the critics will keep asking the same question. Does she care enough about basketball to evolve her game? And the answers to that question could change the way we think about what makes a great player altogether.
You have to be cognizant that no matter how you step out of your house, you are now Angel Reese, and you will always be picked apart, unfortunately. It comes with the crown.
The truth is, basketball is about more than numbers on a stat sheet. Angel Reese's double-doubles might look good at first glance, but when they don't, help her team win. What's the point? Like an analyst said, her 11 points, 11 rebounds was meaningless and insignificant.
And there are literally graphics trumpeting Angel Reese's double-double. Like, that's the thing, the double-double. And I'm thinking to myself, what other player in the WNBA or the NBA would be given an edit or some sort of honor or accommodation in a game where they lost by 35?
Stats like these give fans a false sense of dominance while masking flaws that actually hurt her team's performance. You're seeing the box score, not the game itself. So, here's the real question. Should we celebrate hollow individual accolades or start paying attention to what truly elevates basketball?